Hello. The integrity game. The integrity game. Is it really a game? Because integrity is one of those values that I put right there at the top. If somebody is out of integrity, I'll be the first to call them out. If I'm out of integrity, I will call myself out. And sometimes when we have blinders on, we don't know what we don't know. And it's important to have community and sisterhood and brotherhood that can actually support you and recognizing and being aware of and acknowledging and growing and expanding past that so that it doesn't happen again, right? Because we are a product of how we be and what we do and how we show up, and that those become patterns when it becomes consistent. But today I want to jump into the integrity game, how to reset when misunderstood or there is a mistake or a mistake, or whether you're aware that you created the mistake or whether you're not, right? And I'm saying this in real time because there are businesses I'm working with, I'm consulting with, I am showing up in and outside of my own as a guest coach or a guest speaker. And it's really critical that I show up in my highest power and I stay in integrity to the things and values I believe, right? And again, our beliefs are just simply our thoughts that we repeat over and over again. So what happens when you're misunderstood? And this happens to me quite a lot. There were so many times before I was a coach and even when I'm a coach that I can be taken or misunderstood. And those who've known me long enough or been following me long enough or have worked with me long enough know that every intention is pure. It comes from a very pure place. And that's the heart space, right? But what happens is sometimes the way we respond or we catch ourselves in reacting versus taking a pause and being intentional with our response, right? So the quick reactions, which we can fall into when you're a recovering make it happen person, a recovering people pleaser over here, those old patterns can pop up, even though there's been less firing and wiring of that. It's still there until it's gone, right? And there might be a point in my lifetime where it is completely gone. But what I've come to know to be true, what I've come to be very certain of, is that each level that one expands into when it comes to the mental, the emotional, the spiritual side of things, especially, those old ways of being will surface again. They might not be shouting, which is great, but sometimes they are shouting. So what can we do when we are looking at something because we were misunderstood, or B, we made a mistake, right? Because we're human beings here, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and humans make mistakes. We're not perfect. And when we're building and growing something, we're expanding into something bigger that we've never experienced before, we're going to fumble the ball from time to time. And it's okay. It's okay to take messy action, but not jeopardizing integrity, right? So there's a couple things I want to share here, but all of it's going to be in the Power of Reset, which will be available at the end of this month. There's going to be a whole nice little course with multiple videos on how to reset a revision exercise, that technique that actually works really, really well when there's a mistake, right? And there's 5 steps to a healthy growth period. There's journaling prompts, which actually those are already available. The Power of Reset journaling prompts. These are the questions everybody deserves to have in their back pocket when feeling out of alignment. And those you can go right to my Instagram bio link and click on those and have those right now today to use anytime, anywhere. But I really want to focus on today is the power of a reset in relation to being misunderstood or causing a mistake, right? Being a co-creator of a mistake, which most of us don't want to own up to. But I love this because to me, mistakes are opportunities for growth, period. Now, I'm going to be very transparent about this as well, like I tend to try to be. When it first happens, we can revert to old self, or we can blame and shame ourselves, or we can blame and shame others, or we can give our power away and just feel very blah and low vibe when we realize this, especially if someone brings it to our attention before we're aware of it. It feels like ick energy at times, right? Has anybody done that? It's like, feels like ick energy. But when it's coming from somebody you love and you trust and you're inspired by, we can quickly shift and change that, right? And that is something that is in the AAA method, which will also be a part of the power of the power of a reset experience, which will be available, like I said, in just a few weeks. But that component is critical, because at any time, anywhere, we have the opportunity to choose. This is why it's every day. We have choices, we have chances. And so when there's a mistake or you're being misunderstood, it's always about the facts, which is one of the A's in the AAA method is assess, like assess without judgment. If you're all fired up and in reactive mode, pause, breathe, let it flow through you. Don't push it down, but let it flow up and through, and decide, how do I want to respond to this? And what really is going on? Like, because everybody has a different perception. Like, everybody could see a catastrophe or somebody getting married, or it can be extreme bliss or fear, right? But if it's an experience, everybody's having their own experience, right? So perceptions are going to be different from every angle. And unless the facts are there, some people can be misunderstood, right? So get straight to the facts, assess, but the facts without judgment. That's going to be critical. And then you take ownership on your part. Did you give your power away? Did somebody say something or do something to make you feel the way you're feeling? And if so, when and how are you going to address that? Very direct, honest, and a loving, compassionate way. And this is what the misunderstanding and mistake steps. I have 6 of them actually, but we're going to cover 3 of them today. So stating the facts, taking ownership, and then what can you do right away? Now, this is the part that you have to tap into your intuition. If you're a hothead, and I have family members that are hotheads and I love them dearly, I tell them, don't go to that person immediately. You might need to even sleep on it, which I don't recommend sleeping on it to where you're just going around in your head, but diffuse the negative energy around it. And again, assess, and then decide, like, what can I do right away? Sometimes right away is calling that person in the moment or pulling that person to the side in the moment. You're a hothead, I don't recommend doing that, because what's typical of hotheads, and there's a book that my children read that talk about the power of one, which is an amazing book. If you have kiddos, you should definitely check it out. But Red is a hothead in this book. So what I highly recommend is, if you're a hothead, check yourself before you wreck yourself and escalate it even further. But are you choosing to respond or react in the moment? And if you're reacting, pause. If not, go ahead and respond, right? And the sooner the better. This is why when I used to be misunderstood a lot in the beginning of my coaching business, because I was just a make it happen bull in the China store, getting people progress and success and hitting milestones in their businesses. But yet, if you didn't know and work with me at the deep level that I wasn't sharing to the public at the time, then it was hard for you to even understand, like, holy crap, is she just out to blaze trails, or is she out to make a greater impact, right? And it was a yes and for me. It was both. Like, I can blaze trails and make the impact. There's value in both, right? And yet people who didn't understand that, because it's like, no, it's either or, it's old paradigms. And I'm already busting through old paradigms before people were ready to bust through them. And I didn't understand why they didn't understand me, right? So the 3 I want to cover today, but there are 6 of them. So if you want the rest of them, stay tuned, because the power of a reset experience will be available very soon. But it's stating the facts, owning your part of it, and being honest, high integrity. It takes integrity. It takes courage. It takes confidence to own our crap at times, but it's like, it's only crap if we never own it, and it's going to keep showing up until we own it and we shift it, right? This is the shift work that is much more easier to do when you have a supportive community. Like I said, sisterhoods and brotherhoods aren't just, yay, all peaches and rosy. It's also like mirroring each other and giving each other space to feel and grow and expand. and saying, hey, did you really mean this way? Because this is how it made me feel. And if I felt this way, how many other people felt this way? It's like, that's not my intention, right? And then what's the one thing you can do right away? And this again goes back to the AAA method as well, right? That aligned action. What's one thing you can do right now that serves the highest good, that's in integrity, you can do right here, right now. And sometimes it's a timeout for you. Sometimes it's a timeout for you to not react or respond, and instead take a timeout. Take a timeout. But again, don't let things build up. Do not allow things to build up. Building up, you're going to start carrying this emotional, mental baggage and weight that's going to be like, well, what if this happens? Or what if I never say this? Or what if I do say this? And what if, and what if this is what it looks like when it's all coming together? That's the what if. What if this is the one conversation that's going to allow us both to expand and to our wildest dreams and actually save a friendship, save a business, save a marriage, save a client, save the connection, the love, the trust, because of the communication and the integrity in that and the ownership in that. And again, looking solely at the facts. So hopefully this has served you. There's so much here I want to go deeper on, but it will be available very soon. And it is sacred work. It is something that is deeper than just a conversation here on a podcast. But if we can be aware and start implementing, you can be more intentional with how you use it and actually be in integrity and how you use it and actually elevate your integrity for those around you and become more of a trusted resource, become more of a person people can depend on, and become more of an inspiration, even if that's not your goal, but it's just naturally who you are. So until next time, I'm going to send you with so much love. If you're looking for opportunities to work closer with me, to have access to some of my resources, tools, experiences, you can go check out my link in my bio. Everything that's available right now is what's available right now. Occasionally, I have one-on-one all in to rise up, aligned to have it all opportunities available. So you'll have to just DM me, check in with me, and I'll be happy to serve. Until next time, bye for now.